In this video, I'm going to show how to set a custom attribute when we fire really any tag, but I'm going to concentrate on the GA4 tag here. This attribute can be useful in designating certain page templates, specifically here within WordPress. We're going to do this example firing a true or false metric, whether that page view is a blog post. This can be useful if you don't have URL syntax that includes like /blog, whatever your blog post is, or anything else we can latch onto in GA4 where we need to pass a variable there. So that's the use case here, and I am going to dive into it. The prerequisites here are I do have a Google Tag Manager container already placed, so I can verify that here. I have a GA4 tag already firing. So beyond that, I am just going to set the custom parameters to fire that true-false statement, whether it's a blog post or not. Again, some use cases like, hey, how many conversions, how many sales are coming from when new users land on the blog post versus like a regular page on the website. Again, you could use this for product pages or anything, and you reduce your reliance on the URL structures, whether there's something consistent here that you can latch onto in GA4. The method I originally wanted to go about this that does work is to look for a blog wrapper. So on this particular website it doesn't have it, so I'm going to show a more dynamic solution where we look for something in the body tag. So I'm going to use this script here. All of this will be in the description if you would like to implement this on your website. Specific WordPress here in this example, but it should work across multiple platforms. So I will go ahead and get started there. What I want to look for first is something unique to for this particular setup. I'm going to do body. So what we want to have is something unique to the post body and not the page body. So this is the home page. So I'm just looking at that as an example, but we'll jump into the one post here. And we're going to go ahead and look at our code, set our body tag. So we can see this one does have single post. Not all of these will have single post, so you may have to edit this if your particular WordPress install does not have single post in the body tag here. That is what it's sniffing for. So just be mindful of that. You might have to do your find replace based on what you have in the body post here, and that's why it will work across platforms as well. So with that in mind, single post will work because we do have it here. We also don't have single post, importantly, on the home page, which is what I wanted to show as an example. So we know that's going to give us our binary results and tell us, hey, this is a blog page that we are looking at, and ultimately we can configure in GA4 whether the user hit this page as their initial landing page. So to configure that, we need to hop over to Google Analytics, Google Tag Manager, and we're going to set up a variable, and we are going to do a custom variable. I'm just going to name this blog. You can name this whatever. This particular value is arbitrary. You just want to kind of keep it in mind. Again, I'm going to go with this particular script. I'm just copying it right now, and we're going to do a custom JavaScript. Paste it there and save it out. That's all we're going to need there. This basically just sniffs for it. Oh, I'm going to have to refresh here. And I'm going to repeat what I just did. Perfect. So we're going to do if blog again and custom JavaScript. And there we go, single post. Again, this is just a value that you want to recognize because we'll call for it later as a dynamic variable. And this is that particular script looking for that value inside of your body tag. So save that out. And now I'm going to hop on the tags, and remember, as a prerequisite, I had my GA4 tag. Let me enlarge that. So basically just standard setup here. All the other tags are just noise at this point. And configuration settings. And we're going to add a parameter to it. And this is where I want to do something like if blog. We will need to note this because we will have to marry this up with, in this situation, GA4, and I'll show how to do that. I'll also show how to test this, but I'm just going to say blog. And then the value is going to be our new parameter, which is going to be if blog, and I'm going to save that out. So at this point I am going to put the screens side by side so we can do a test of this, and let me make that smaller. We'll preview this. Grab the URL. First want to land on a regular page that's not a blog to make sure we're not getting false positives here. Connect. Alright, I'm going to close all that out, move this one to the side here. So this is our test window. So we just had the home page load, and good news, our GA4 tag fired, so that's good. So I'm going to enlarge that and look at the page view. So first here you can see that, hey, it's looking for a parameter, and then it's looking for just the parameter blog, and then it's just tying to that custom variable we set up earlier with the custom JavaScript. Let me jump back in that, and we're on the page view, and the event parameter blog here, false. Okay, so that's good. Now what we want to check is to actually load a blog page, and it's going to generate a second page view, or however many clicks it takes you to get there. For me, it looks like it's going to be 1. So here is our second blog page view. So we're going to click on that. This is going to be our second page view here. Click on that, and event parameter blog true. So from here we can go inside Google Analytics, and I actually don't have it pulled up, so I'm not going to go into that process, but you'll go into your custom dimensions, set it based on event, and you want to marry it up to the blog parameter, or whatever you set this parameter, that needs to be exactly inside of Google Analytics. And if you register some events, you'll see it when you start typing it in. So, you know, if you just publish this and then publish this, and people are hitting your blog post, it'll push that over to GA4, and then you go to set that custom dimension for this blog post. You will see it there. Otherwise, you will just need to type it in. Like if I wanted to establish that right away after submitting, I'll just type it in and make sure it matches that. And again, let me show you that specifically. You want to make sure it matches whatever you put here. So this is, you know, this is completely arbitrary. So we can do, I guess, underscore blog. We do it whatever here, but I'm just gonna leave it at blog, and then we'll pass that over. I might make a video in the future where I show how to set up different exploration reports. We can also marry this up to your different, you know, Looker Studio. We can marry it up to your different dashboards, but for now we're passing a custom parameter that, independent of what's in the URL, agnostic to what's in the URL, we can sniff for a page template and pass a true false value to see what template people are landing on.